I was watching every single one of you and waited. Every single one of them. Apart from Dave. I did.
Dave behaved.
On this occasion.
This time.
Yeah.
For once in my misbegotten existence.
Did we actually start recording or not?
We have already. Oh yeah, we're
Oh, we have.
Okay,
Oh, good.
cool.
Oh, good.
This is in. This bit where you.
Professionals here.
Yeah, we're all being professionals. Professionals. It's like our streaming careers, isn't it, JJ?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Professional Russian.
Absolutely professional. If you want to know how professional we are, come along on Fridays when we're playing Plate Up. Because that was so professional last week, wasn't it?
I remember lots of screaming and running for cover. So yes, actually, yes, I resemble parts of my career.
Yeah, okay, fair. That's a bad example. Okay, honestly, guys, we are here to record an episode. Promise we are. We're gonna do some role playing, but we are kicking back and chilling a little bit. Mostly because some of us are exhausted. Some of us have been to London for work. Some of us have been to Leeds to work for work today, and I think both of the pair of us are kind of wanting to fall asleep. So we're going to get some episodes recorded.
No, I had a nap earlier, so I'd be awake to record.
Oh, lucky you! I didn't get back early enough for that. So yes, we've been doing like work with actual people around us, and that's exhausting. I don't do that as much as possible. I avoid people. So yeah, it's been a thing today. So we're gonna get on with this, and we're gonna do some recording. We're gonna do 2 episodes, as is our standard, so long as we all have the energy and the time. And we are carrying on. We're into episode 57. I do this every week, just in case you've forgotten what we're playing. We're playing Pathfinder, and we're doing the Abomination Vaults. And
we're not playing Mech Warrior Destiny.
No.
Oh, crap.
There we go.
Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries is what we stream on random days.
Yeah.
So
that's horrible.
Those are not random.
But in either case, we're going to do this. We're going to get into this. We are on. I'm not on. They are on. This lot are on
caffeine mostly.
The fourth. Well, on caffeine on the 4th floor.
Booze.
They have just found a room which was full of corpselights and corpses, which is not a good combination. But dispatched them relatively quickly and relatively easily, and now are confronted with a nice sized room. It's 25 foot wide. It's about 40 foot, 25 by 40 foot. It's not a bad sized room. This one, get most houses into this room, I think. But and yeah, they have got a couple of bits and pieces to sort of dig around in here.
I am going to wander around and collect the spirit wisps into my lantern.
Yep. So using a small lantern, Inver is going to do some incantations and draw these spirits of these creatures into the lantern. I'm sure at some point it will become something that you bring up and let me know about. And when you want to use it, and when you want to do stuff with it. When you remember, yeah, that's generally speaking the way it works. So I'm going to swap everybody over to the map. I'm going to put the music on. I believe you guys were going to go somewhere and rest. I don't know if you decided where you were going to go and rest, but I think the plan was to have a rest.
Yeah, we're going to set up in the Soul Kitchen.
Okay.
I'll get some flatbreads cooking.
Okie dokie. What I will say, in fact, what we'll do, we'll throw it to the map. We'll throw it to the map. There's the map, and we'll put on the music. There you are. There's some music. Quite loud for me, actually. I'm going to turn that down. Hang on a second. Come on. Down you go. There we are. Right. So, a little bit of atmosphere and all the rest of it. you set yourselves up in the kitchen, prepping for the night ahead, trying to get a few bits and pieces done. What I will do, I just want to check who is staying in the large room while Phelan's sort of doing bits and pieces. Is anybody doing anything, or are you very specifically not touching anything? We're not touching doors, we're not doing anything else, you just... Is anybody doing anything? I just want to check.
Moz is going to move actually towards the back of the kitchen space, maybe a bit of a backdoor man, and just lurk, listening to the.
My players, or more specifically, one of them.
I didn't giggle, and that particular phrasing was not necessarily the reason that person was giggling.
I am doing nothing except wandering around with my lantern, collecting the remains of the spirits for use later.
Okay. What is Neffy doing?
We're trying to break off.
I want her to open every single door. No, she's not going to open every single door. She wants to. Oh, God. I've just spent the weekend LARPing as a more chaotic version of Neffy, and I'm trying to get back into Neffy headspace.
A more chaotic.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Are we talking so much more
yes.
chaotic than you counter rap to actually quite say?
From the reports I have
All
heard, no.
The reports are, yeah, she was, yeah, okay. All I can say is don't lick the eyeballs. That's what she took from that. Okay. Is anyone watching her?
Phelan is cooking, Phelan is singing a song about trolls.
I mean, yes, because I always do.
Yeah, fair.
And in fact, let's get the badger under the table, Phelan on the stove.
Well then.
She's gonna listen at all the doors and do some, seeing if there's anything magical that she can sense. But she won't try and open them because she's being closely watched.
Okay. That's fine. That just gives me a general idea of who is doing what. I don't know what that's called now. That's fine. Okay. This just shows who's paying attention.
So,
Inva, as you are moving around the room, doing your various bits and pieces, and checking if, sort of around the area, and while Phelan is starting to cook, you do notice that there is sound from at least two of these doors. Firstly, to the south itself, you can hear very faintly through the doors. You can hear what sounds like some. It sounds like something talking to itself, and the reason why I use the word "thing" is it's using a language that you recognise. It's definitely muttering and mumbling. It's not coherent sentences, before you ask me what they're saying. But the problem is, the source of the sounds, the source of these words, it doesn't fit with anything you understand as a voice. It's almost like there's a combination of noises that seem to group together to make words, rather than sound being produced by somebody. I know that's really difficult to sort of place and put your sort of finger
So
on
I'm
what
just
I
going to barricade that door with chairs.
And the other one that you notice something is, I've just pinged it on the map, there is spiritual activity in that room.
I'm going to barricade that as well, for all the good I think it might do, and then I'm going to go and tell everybody why I've done it.
Sounds reasonable. But
Wait, Inver's back's turned. Quick, open every other door.
Typical. Move steps, mum steps in. Declines.
Try me.
So yeah, just so you're aware, those two rooms. What I would say is you are right. You're feeling that barricading that south eastern door, it's going to make no bit of difference. If that is because you know your thing gives you the idea of whether or not it's a haunt or a restless spirit or if it's something else. You are pretty much convinced that that is a spiritual being in that room. Doors probably mean nothing.
Yeah. Well, it stops us wildly opening it without thinking it through.
which again is fair.
Yep. Yeah, it is partially a make it difficult for them, but also a we'll hear Neffy dragging the chairs across the floor as she tries to go in.
I
Probably.
resemble that.
There's no answering for that, really, is there?
Nope. Strange days.
Oh dear. Okay. So you set all of this lot up at various bits and pieces. With the knowledge of there being something around here, is anything else done? Are you guys doing anything else at all? Setting watches? Or are you just gonna hope for the best?
I think we can set watches.
I mean, that's part of the reason deliberately why Mosron is in this position is so that he can explicitly listen and perceive, or otherwise down this corridor in case something comes scuttling around. This being a known route and a very nice choke point that hopefully sound will echo down.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You already know pretty much that it does.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Right then. Okay, what I want to do, I just want to check. So we're going to assume here that you're going to have probably more likely 6 hours sleep each rather than 8, because just the way it works. Over an 8-hour period, because obviously watches, 2-hour watches. It's the trope. It's the fairly standard way of doing things. Who's going first?
Well, before we do, I think we should probably drop some healing magic on people if we've got some left. Because I've got 2 internal level 1 heals left.
Yep.
How are you doing, Impa?
I've got one of my more potent spells that I'd rather keep just in case we need it overnight.
Okay.
And a couple of first levels, but again, I am functionally useless without magic, so I'd rather keep those as attack and support just in case
Right.
anything kicks off.
In that case, I'm going to drop a couple. I'm going to drop both my first level heals on Moz as 2 actioners.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
So that's 27 back for Almazur.
Solid. But 49, just under perfect.
Because I figure with some resting hit points, if we don't have to clobber anything overnight, we should be good. And while we're resting, people's I've been bandaged will wear off, so I can always first aid.
Will my GM, will the drained value that I have drop off overnight?
Drops down by 1 overnight.
Okay.
So yes, because you're only on 1, I believe.
Yep.
So yes, that would drop down. Okay.
Oh, before we bed down, which door was it that has a spiritual presence behind it?
This one
Is it
down.
Bottom one.
that one there?
South
I'm gonna-
east.
I'm going to take a plate from the kitchen, put a portion of what I was cooking and a flatbread on there, and leave it outside the door.
Okay, fair enough.
You never know, because yes, it's a spirit, but it might appreciate the gesture and not murder us in our sleep.
I mean, there is that.
Fair.
And if it's untouched, someone can have cold for breakfast.
Hey.
Or Neffy can
was-
wander off in the middle of the night and eat it.
I was about to say, after everyone's
Yeah.
bedded down, she's gonna go and eat that and then go to bed herself.
Okay,
On
so on
Which-
Neffy's watch, that's going to get eaten then. Okay.
Daffy's on morning watch.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, it's not the norm for this sort of thing, but I just fancy a little bit of seeing some rolls going on. Whoever's got first watch, whomever that happens to be, I would like you to roll a d20, please.
I'll take it. Unless anyone's going to argue. No arguments. 16.
16. Okay. Throughout the course of your watch, you kind of keep an eye down that corridor, periodically rotating round just to listen at the door in the kitchen, on the assumption that you've kind of all gone in there, closed that, probably barricaded that a little bit, maybe even blocked up the stuff at the bottom so there's no light coming through, which would normally potentially, wouldn't normally be here,
Give the game away.
and give the game away. Okay. You do not hear anything. You don't hear movement or anything else like that during your watch.
Lovely.
Who is next?
Yep. Unless there's any reason not to.
Roll a d20, please.
7.
Okay. During your watch, you don't hear anything coming from the corridor to the north. No sounds travel through that at all, other than like the odd weird drop of water and probably condensation type water and things like that, because you are quite a decent way underground, so there will be a little bit of that kicking about. You do hear at least one door open in that large chamber, but nothing comes to your door at all.
Okay.
Okay. Who's next? Is that
Okay.
Inver at this point?
I'll let Inver know that a door has opened through there, but nothing's tried to get in here.
Okay. Make a d20 roll, please. Inver.
Arthur, get your nose off my keyboard. 8. No, seriously, nose off my keyboard.
Okay. Keeping an ear out in the similar way to Phelan. You again, there's nothing really moving around in the north at all. No sounds of movement. However, you again also hear a door in that chamber open and close.
Okay. Alright.
And then it's Neffy.
I will pass on the information about the doors that we've had.
So, I have 2 questions for Neffy.
Yeah.
Is Neffy still going out to get that food?
Obviously.
Okay. And what do you get when you roll a d20?
Leprosy.
18.
18. Okay. You don't.
I was going to say food poisoning.
You don't hear anything moving around. So taking a bit of a risk, at some point you clear away the stuff that you've put to block the door. You very quietly move all the barricades and everything else. Step out of the room. I'd now like you to make a stealth check, please.
Mm-hmm. That is okay, that is... Oh, God, maths. 27.
Oh, right, okay, fine. You...
Rogue!
Well, yes, but still. You carefully move all the barricades aside and shift everything around. And you step out of the room and you head towards the southeastern door. Sat in front of the door is a round plate with nothing on it.
Food. Oh boy, does she want to throw that platter across the room. Is there evidence of what doors have opened at some point, or are they just all shut again?
They're all shut again.
She's gonna stay in there, like sat in the dark in a corner, just like watching the room.
This room is lit.
Oh, of course it is.
This room has the two candelabras above with ever-burning candles in them, effectively.
I mean, she's still gonna kind of get in a corner somewhere and just observe the room and just keep an eye on it for the rest of her watch.
That's observe spelled S-U-L-K.
Yes. I stand by it.
Okay.
Valid?
At least once during that time, as you're sat in there, you are fairly convinced that you hear something in the southern room moving around.
Yeah. That the other door we barricaded, wasn't it?
That was one of the doors you barricaded, which is a good point, actually. All the stuff in the barricade is still there.
Yeah.
In fact, all the stuff in both barricades is still there.
When it gets to the end of her watch, to wake everyone else up, she does kick the platter over.
Of course you do. Do you take it back into the room and kick it over? Or are you kicking it? Because probably nobody will hear it from there.
Yeah, she takes it in the other room and she's like, kind of puts it down a lot heavier than she needed to.
Well, that's the end of the night then. So Moz as he gets up.
Right. Can we hit the rest button and do resty time?
You absolutely can hit your rest buttons. Yes.
Ooh, my max HP went up. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what's got you so grumpy then? I thought you were planning on snacking on that anyway. Now the plate's empty. I mean,
Honestly, Neffy's just sat in the corner grumpily eating some stale pie at this point.
is this one of the pies from the Osprey Club you said? I don't know, to see if there's a stamp on it.
There's probably penicillin on it.
And they're in town. Gosh, it's not that bad.
Long baked crusts.
Something
So
ate
do we-
the food.
That's interesting.
That's definitely different.
Yeah, so, Moz, there was at least one door opening in that room last night. Didn't try and get in here, though.
Good to know. Nothing happened on my shift, so I'm presuming either they're a little bit too quiet for me, or they waited a good while until after the fight.
Hmm.
But if they're eating real food, then they might be a different problem as opposed to the normal ghouls, because I don't think ghouls eat meat, as in that's not carcass.
Well, you've had fun finding meat on that plate.
Mm.
So, it might be something nominally alive down here. And
Yeah.
it simply didn't want to say hello or possibly get thumped.
Well, it would have been a bad case of 5-1, absolutely, if it came in, but it wouldn't have known that. But yeah, interesting.
Stole my food.
So where do we want to start? Doors we know things are in, or doors we don't know things are in?
Doors we don't know things are in, I think.
Yeah,
Part at
Because-
the top left.
I would be inclined to go that way around, yeah.
Because that way, it's less of a surprise when...
When we get backstabbed by one of the doors we knew about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but...
Yep.
Okay, I'm just waiting for you to. Are you all lining up at that door, are you?
Apparently so.
Spirity, sensey thing.
Spirity, sensey things.
Magical woo-woo.
Magical woo woo. Right, well, the magical woo woo does not pick up anything, nor does the spiritual woo woo.
We're all adults here.
Yeah,
Speak for yourself.
adult, not necessarily grown up. Thank you.
Right, okay, listening, just the general normal, using your ears type listening. None of you can
As
hear
opposed to your
anything.
nose.
Well, yeah.
I cast synesthesia.
Surely he deserves an extra hero point
He
for
does,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
he does. He gets one. Yeah, none of you hear anything at the door. Checking it over, Neffy, you do not see anything that looks like it's a trap, nor does it appear to be locked.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna open it.
Okie dokie. The walls of this chamber are lined with cupboards, shelves, and cabinets. A few barrels sit in the middle of the room. Two skeletons lie slumped near the barrel.
Can I have a proper look around just in case there's anything in there?
Yeah, you have a good dig around, checking out all the various bits and pieces and spaces, and don't really find anything. There's nothing of value in there.
Okay.
Are the skeletons
through the
definitely dead?
The skeletons are not moving, nor did they move when Neffy stood over the top of them. And you cannot,
Okay.
after concentrating on them and spending a bit of time with your abilities, you cannot detect any spirits.
Okay.
Okay, move to the next door. Nope, you cannot hear or anything. You do not see any traps. You do not see any locks.
I mean, I'm happy to open this one if no one else wants to.
Well, I'm going to stay here and watch this, because if something gets noisy, there's half a chance that 2 or 3 of these might blow open.
True.
You open the door and find a set of stairs going up.
That's interesting.
With a little
Kind
bit
of
of sort
set
of,
stairs?
so with a little bit of working it out and kind of mapping it and working out your location and all the rest of it, you believe these would be the set of stairs that would come up near the jail where the demon was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I shut that door and... Do we have chalk? Does somebody have chalk? We can draw stairs on the door or something.
I think if you have got an adventurer's pack, you have chalk. A backpack.
Awesome.
You do indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got chalk. Yep, lots and lots of chalk.
Cool beans.
10 units of chalk.
Are we over to the next door now?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a check on this one.
Oh.
Neffy, you are 100% certain that there is not a trap, that there are no locks, and there is nothing on the other side. Everybody else, yeah, it seems about right. You can't hear anything. None of you are really picking up on anything in that area.
The players
Still
are
on
suspicious as
edge
hell.
pressing this. Boom.
A tall wine rack, its bottles thick with dust after so many years, stands against the northern wall.
Did she find any cool wine?
Do you?
It
have
doesn't look like a whiskey bar.
Do you have society as a skill?
Yes,
Okay.
she does. It's one of her best ones.
You don't find any good wine.
Aww.
Would anybody else like to be in there searching, or is it just?
Moz is going to
Yeah.
wander in and,
Yeah, I'll have a look.
kind of look over her shoulder.
Okay. Because at the moment, Neffy's
Right,
the
not
only one
great.
doing anything, so I was just checking.
Alright.
Plus 8 on my one, so not too shabby.
You got
My sis-
plus 10 on them. Oh no, plus 8. Yeah, that's right. That's fine.
Yep.
And yours is plus 1.
Oh yeah, I'm not good at this, but you know,
That's fine, I need to fold dice, don't I?
11 plus 1 for 12, please.
That's an 18
Well,
plus 8 for 26.
It's wine?
no, Moz, you. And to be fair, I rolled as well. Remember, because it's a secret roll.
Oh, yes.
However, Moz still is the person that gets this. You check through the bottles. Most of them, the sediment is unfortunately gone to town. Most of these bottles are gone off. However, you find 3 that are in good condition. The wine in itself, there were more that are in good condition, but then you check the labels and there are 3 which catch your eye. These 3 bottles are worth 20 gold each.
In the bag.
With these balls, we could be so good together. Yeah, we'll keep a hold of these.
So I will put them into the loot bag, but not just yet, because there's unfortunately not an item for it, so I'm going to have to make one. At least I think there is. Yeah, there's no. So I will create that myself. Outside of that, that is all you find in this room. The rest of the room is full of just rubbish, basically.
Moz is going to then station himself, and like hold an action, bearing in mind that there's now only one
There's
untested.
There's 2 doors.
There's another 3 doors, but 2 have been barricaded.
No, there are 4 doors.
4
which
doors,
wasn't
2 are
barricaded.
barricaded.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
got these 2
Oh, I've seen
left
that one.
to look at.
Okay.
Okay, you get to the next door. Both Inva and Neffy are at this point relatively confident that the next door, there's no sounds on the other side of it. There's no apparent lock. Nothing else like that. The walls of this chamber are decorated with twisting runes carved into the wall and filled with dull, silvery metal. Floor and ceiling are almost completely covered with large polished metal discs. You have found
This is the
the
teleport.
teleportation chamber for this floor. It is currently not active. You already have activated one portal. Remember what happens with that. If you do not activate a connecting portal, at some point that one upstairs will deactivate.
Disengage.
So,
Yeah.
do we want to activate this one?
We're at an interesting point in it, aren't we? Because, like, just over the way, there's some kind of magic-y woo going on the stairs. This might be a good place to activate, yeah.
Yeah, I'm for it.
So I need to remember what the ritual is on this one, because I actually can't remember it. Just off the top of my
Nah,
head.
we just do it. It's fine.
It's fine, it'll be
Yeah,
alright, whatever.
Make it up as we go along.
No.
Oh, this is not by 20th century fox. It is not fine.
No, it is not. Right, let me just drag that. Modify the short tab. Huh, some of my journals have disappeared. That's not helpful. Thankfully, not the ones I think. Where are you?
Point over here.
Awaken portal ritual. Okay, so if you remember correctly, yes, people can help, but for the most part, actually at your level, it might be a bit risky. Maybe. You are on the 4th floor. So the target number for this floor is a 23. Now, the ritual itself can use either Arcana or Occultism. You must be trained in it, and anybody that helps must use the same skill. Obviously, if you help, your target number is a 20 to effectively aid.
What was the skill we were using again?
Arcana or Occultism, it depends on who the primary caster is. Now, I believe the last time you did this, Neffy was the primary caster, having both Occult and Arcana at pretty high values. In fact, both at +9 as things stand. Anybody that would therefore need to help, you probably need to work out what your best other skill is. I'm vaguely looking at it now because obviously I have all the numbers here to help me out, just to give you the clues. Inver, as you are already well aware, but just sharing with the group, you are pretty good at Occultism, not so good at Arcana. I think is a fair assessment. Would you agree?
Yep.
Whereas Moz is pretty good at both, having both at +8. So it might be worth looking at having Inver and Moz try with Occultism, and then Neffy goes into it and does the main ritual. All I would say is please remember that if you succeed, you give +1 to the rolls. Critical success, I believe, is +2. If you fail, it goes to -4, -8 if you critically fail. So it's a pretty big deal if you get it wrong, but that is up to you guys.
I think I decided not to help last time because I still didn't even have an even chance of actually helping.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be about on the same boat, really, considering it's I'd need a 12 up to hit 20 to be comfortable with a good value on 20. So
Yep.
I'm not feeling that.
So it kind of remains on Neffy to do this then.
If you're up
Neffy,
for it.
If you wanted to do it, you would need to get a 23 with your +9.
So what do I need? Is it a 14?
So
14 or up, wouldn't it?
maths, yes. Now the other
I'm
option,
impressed I got that first. Let's just say this.
the other option, of course, that you do have is to say, you know what, right now, no, we're not that far off level 5. It'll make life a bit easier.
Who knows? Maybe after we've explored this area.
True.
Be a bit of a moonlight drive.
It's a bit of a sneaky way of doing it, but
I mean, or do I do it? I've got 2 chances because I could hero point it if I fail it.
What was the effects of failing? Does it just not work?
so failing the ritual just stops it. It doesn't work, and I think you know you can try it again later. It's the critical fail that's the problem. Now,
Presumably, it stops the other one.
no.
That's this
Oh,
No, that the other one will be perfectly fine. He succeeded there. A critical failure summons a creature.
so don't roll a 1.
A
Got ya.
creature.
A creature.
Is critical fail classified as a 1 or 10? A
10
10 or
under.
more under.
10 or more under.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd have to roll really low.
You would have to roll a 4 or less.
Yeah.
It's 1 in 5 chance. That's not bad.
And obviously there's slightly different variations in the rules here, because here, rather than the portal stays awakened for only a small length of time, because you're connecting portals within the Abomination vaults, they just stay open once you've done it.
Shall I give it a...
It might be worth a single pop.
I mean, you can end up being stupefied for a day if you fail as well.
It's alright.
Let's not do
It'll
it.
keep
On,
her
on
out.
a fail or a critical fail?
On just a fail.
Really?
Let's clear the rest of the room. with that particular piece of information, I would say, I'll change my vote. I'll change my vote.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I shut the door.
You shut the door. We shall have a listen at the next door. 3 of you this time. Phelan's obviously, further away from the door, not as close, not able to listen as much. The rest of you that are a bit closer, you do not hear anything, you do not see any traps, and it does not appear to be locked.
I mean, open it and have a look.
Yep. Right.
Oh, I'm right next to it too.
Play.
A dusty metal wash tub with a small skeleton lying inside sits next to a low shelf in this room.
Okay. Boz is getting a little bit squirrely about these bodies. Don't make sense. The two dead in the cellar, 1 in a tub. I mean, don't get me wrong. A bunch of corpses around a table sort of makes some kind of sense.
The one in the
also then
kitchen
the-
was self-inflicted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gonna try and make sure this thing is absolutely dead. Not going to animate.
So are you touching the skeleton at all, doing anything?
Well, I'm gonna use undead law, I think, to figure out how I might go about doing that first, and then I'm gonna fuck about and find out.
Okay. What's your undead law skill at? 7.
I think it's 7, yes.
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah,
immediate
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that comes to mind for you is, hey, if I touch it, I'll find out.
I'm gonna touch it with a weapon rather than my hand or something. Slightly stood back.
Okay. As you disturb the skeleton, you'll see that this nice little thing that there's a macro, there's an animated macro, and it's awesome. The tub fills with water.
Oh, it's a haunt.
No hauntiness whatsoever. You do not, sitting down, looking at it, doing all the rest of it. Nope,
No.
This is not a haunt. The water fills. You can smell. It is soapy water, very clean, and then the water just drains away, disappears. You can smell what smells like harsh dish soap clinging in the air as it drains away.
Is that the kind of lye that would dissolve flesh?
No,
Okay.
no, not strong enough for that.
Okay.
But you do get a feeling you've just found a magical wash tub for cleaning plates.
Can I find something lying around and lob it in the tub and see what happens?
Yep, you lob it in the tub, the skeleton becomes disturbed again, or more accurately, the stuff in the tub becomes disturbed again. The thing fills up with water. There's this really strong soapy smell, and then it all drains away, and the thing you chucked in is clean.
Can I take a finger bone out and see what happens?
As you put your hand in and start to take
It
a
fills
finger
with
bone,
water.
it fills with water. You feel warm, reasonable temperature, possibly a little bit hot water come up your arm, and as the water drains away, you have the cleanest hand you have ever seen.
With a finger
Holding
bone.
a finger bone.
Okay, I'm going to put the
Clean
bone
finger
back.
bone.
You put the bone back, the tub fills with water.
Yeah, fine, right.
Are we having fun, Inva?
Well, if we ever want to clean anything, we just go put it in the tub, and it'll wash it for us.
It's useful.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
Sure.
You know,
But now I
If
want
we
to go back to the other skeletons and poke them.
if we get that door to the stairs with a decent lock on it, and we close off that door to the cavey passageway, and we get that teleporter working, this could do as a decent field camp. We've got an ever-burning stove in there. I mean, if there's some actual potable magic water in here, we're sorted.
So does Inva go and start poking bodies?
Yes.
Absolutely
Can
nothing.
Moz,
Absolutely nothing happens.
can I, with a bit of a mix of undead lore, although I don't think that probably applies, but maybe a bit of society, maybe a bit of nature, try and figure out what happened in here? Because, I mean, we've encountered bodies all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just, this looks odd. Something happened here.
Was it stairs?
Specifically a thing.
I'll
happened.
just swap dice for Moz because I've just launched his dice across the room.
Thank When we've got one drowned in the tub, we've got a whole bunch of bodies around here.
Right, so you start having a look around, trying to put things together. Okay, so the first thing that springs to mind, first obvious thing that springs to mind, is the skeletons in here, for the vast majority, in fact all of them, their hands, or at least one of them, has landed on their throat during death. Okay, so it would appear that they were choking on something. All right. The two up in the northern area, just very briefly looking over them, appear to have been hit with an exceedingly sharp weapon, because you can see the break lines, and it's not cracked, it's cut, roughly around sort of neck area. The one that's in the tub, no obvious thing, and obviously if you accidentally touch it, it fills with water, and there's no obvious marks because it's all bone. It's really difficult to sort of tell, but it does look a little bit more like this one might have been stabbed, potentially. It's difficult to tell. It's just the way that it's fallen. Looks like it might have been stabbed in the back.
CSI Atari.
Yeah.
Oswald.
But the actual thing that connects all of these bodies, no, it's slipping your grasp. You're not sure
Okay.
what's going on.
Missing a step. Okay. Missing a thing. Not a worry. Not a worry. It's bugging me.
If you look in the next two rooms, we've got the spiritual
Yeah.
room and the somebody's behind there talking to themselves room.
Let's leave the talkie room to last.
Spiritual room it is. This is an invar
Okay.
room.
You move.
Do I know anything more, having had time to think about it and use various laws and experience to have any idea what else might be back here?
No.
Okay.
So you move all the barricades to the side, and you are presented with a door. Very quickly looking over it, Moz, you are the most convinced that, again, like every other room in this, every other door in this place, there's no lock on it, there's no traps on it. They all look the same. This just looks like some sort of, I don't know, guest quarters. Guest entertainment space, you know. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one.
Let's pop the door. Let's find out. And Moz will basically prep this kind of thing for an attack. Just to reference
Yeah,
that he's
prepped
effectively
with my-
scouting, so he's got a bit of an initiative boost.
Hey,
Huge.
Scooch.
So I can poke through the door now. It's all good. Pop the door.
Okay. Whoever wants to click it can click it.
I've just stepped out the way. It's not me.
Are we
I
not going
can
to do the you pop the
Lean
door?
forwards and then move. Yeah, I can lean forwards and press it.
Okay.
I
Why
lean
step
forwards
through
and
the
press
door?
and push the
There's
door
no
open.
flash ban yet.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh dear.
An open metal hatch lies in the floor against this room's east wall. Storage bins sit to the north and south, each
glob
heaped with old bones and lumps of stone. Right,
Uh-oh.
hold
Yeah.
your horses, because I am
Moz
going to
is
make
walking
a
in,
roll.
halberd up.
Okay. Moz, you step in. You see nothing other than exactly what I've just described to you.
Well, I will. That trapdoor, man. That trapdoor. Is it propped up against anything, or is it just like leant up against the side?
It's just leant up against the side.
Was this the door, or was it the other one that had food on it?
This was the door that you put food down.
Mm-hmm.
But all the barricades are still in place, so.
Yeah. But someone was sneaking around.
Could they have reached through though? If they open, does the door open inwards or?
Door opened inwards.
Yeah, they could have come.
No,
Was it gonna
sorry, the
fer-
door opened outwards. It would have opened outwards into the hall. Otherwise, there's no point in barricading it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I was
then it would have
confused.
fallen through if the door had been. Yeah, I don't trust holes in the ground. Not like this.
I go in and look down the hole.
Okay. I want to know. I really, really want to know what your fortitude DC is, please.
Oh, good God!
Do something.
Fortitude. No, that's my save.
So
Is that what you
it's
need?
your fortitude save plus 10.
Oh, so 17.
17.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
great.
Moz, as Neffy steps to the edge of the platform, you spot not a creature or anything else like that, but the bric-a-brac and the debris that are in these bins specifically to the north of you, a whole lump of it suddenly rises up into the air and flies towards Neffy's back.
Can I reflex something on this? Either getting in the way of it to deflect it or grab Neffy? Because I think reflex +9.
So I'm
Nope.
going to allow the following. You do get to do something. Normally you wouldn't, but I'm going to allow it. I'm happy for you to make an athletics check.
Ooh.
And
+1.
if you beat the roll I'm about to make, I will say that you managed to grab Neffy before it hits her.
Is this metal dice or no? Are you feeling metal dice or bone dice? Bone dice or metal dice?
Bone.
Bone.
Neffy is boned either way.
I mean, what was the? It was athletics, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep. That was a 7 on the dice +10 for 17.
That would be almost a critical fail.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
On what I just rolled, technically.
Yeah, Matt got a 2 on the dice.
Yeah, not
Neffy's
so
going
good.
down the hole at this rate.
That is precisely what happens to you. Exactly in every detail, because you don't take any damage. I've fundamentally I have rolled a shove attack against you, as this lump of stuff smashes into the back of you. You go straight down into the hole. And we'll see you next time. Oh, that was a good one to end on. Ah, that's nice. Bye-bye for now, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.